This is one of my absolute favorite ways to do a perfect holiday turkey. Full of flavor, really juicy. It all starts by brining your bird. You gotta brine your turkey. Basic brine recipe, we're gonna start with water, plenty of salt. I like orange juice for flavor and a little sweetness, and some honey. All we wanna do is whisk this together until everything is incorporated. Once all the salt and honey is dissolved in your brine, you're ready to brine the bird. I like to take a young turkey, we tuck the wings behind the back so that they stay nice and moist when they're cooking. We'll put the turkey into a container that'll hold it, and we'll put the brine right over the top. You want to completely submerge your turkey in this brine. Once our bird is completely submerged in the brine, you want to make sure it gets down in there. I usually put a plate on top to help weight it down, keep it submerged. This needs to stay in the fridge overnight. That'll make sure your bird is really juicy before you get started. Now that our bird's brined overnight, we're going to take this bird, pull it out, make sure you drain as much of the brine off of there as you can. We're going to place it onto a sheet pan. I'm going to pat the bird dry with paper towels. We're going to discard this brine, and then we're going to season the bird with a really cool mixture of brown sugar and some of our Texas red dirt rub. I mix these two together. It's a great combination of flavors. And then don't be shy about it. Really season your bird. Not just a little bit. Inside, outside, the breast, the legs, every bit of this bird is going to get a nice, healthy coat of brown sugar and Texas red dirt rub. Now, once we've got a nice, healthy coat of our seasonings all the way around the bird, you've got a choice. You can cook this in a smoker, or you can roast it in a convection oven. I think we're going to use the smoker today. Now we're going to get it in our smoker that's already preheated with pecan wood smoke. This is my favorite sweet smoke. Okay, let's take our Creole turkey out of the smoker here. Remember, you can do this in the oven or in the smoker, but I like the smoke flavor. This is the color I love to see, this really dark brown mahogany color. The brown sugar in our spices there really caramelizes well and gets this rich, dark, roasty flavor. Now I'm gonna let this sit and rest for about 20 to 30 minutes before we carve into it. That'll give us plenty of time to make our oyster stuffing. Now when it comes to the holiday stuffing, I really don't believe in actually stuffing the bird. Stuffing the bird is a bad idea. We cook the bird without stuffing in there, but we make a great stuffing or dressing on the side. This is my favorite, an oyster dressing. Now we're gonna start with just a little bit of olive oil in a hot pan. I'm gonna saute some onion, celery, and garlic. Now once our onions and celery have started to soften up just a little bit on our saute, I'm going to add in a lot of green chilies. These are roasted, peeled, and seeded poblano peppers. Adds a really good southwestern flair. Love this earthy, roasty, rich touch. A little more complex than your average turkey stuffing. We're also going to season this up pretty well. We've got some of our Texas red dirt rub, our Creole blend, a little bit of parsley, black pepper, and some rubbed sage. All that goes right in. Once our vegetables have gotten nice and soft, we're going to add in a little mixture of chicken stock with a touch of clam juice. When the whole pan is starting to simmer, this is the key to the whole thing right here. Freshly shucked oysters. I'm using Galveston Bay oysters today. Love these guys. Now I want the oysters to simmer in this liquid for about 3 to 4 minutes, and that's it. We don't want to overcook them. If you cook them too long, they get very tough. Perfect after 3 or 4 minutes. Absolutely one of my favorite ingredients and a great stuffing. Now once our oysters have poached for about 3 to 4 minutes, I'm going to add in our breadcrumb, and this kind of becomes the heart of the stuffing. Now I'm using cornbread for this one that's been dried and cubed up. You could use a French bread, sourdough bread works really well, but we're using cornbread today, make it just a little sweeter. And in addition to that, we're also going to use some panko breadcrumbs. Those are the Japanese breadcrumbs that I love. All this needs to just simmer together until it's started to soak up all that flavorful liquid. The oysters are cooked just right. As soon as the bread has soaked up all of this beautiful poaching liquid with all that flavor, this dish is ready. We like to do it on the stove top very quickly, doesn't take long at all, and then we're going to serve this one right next to our Creole smoked turkey. All right, we'll put that in one of our beautiful holiday platters here. And that's ready for the table. Okay, so we'll just take a little bit of our oyster stuffing right here, right on the plate. I always make sure I get plenty of oysters in mine. And let's slice off a few pieces of this beautiful smoked Creole turkey breast. Oh man, that is beautiful. Love this nice little red color you get on the edge of the meat from being in that smoky environment. Look how juicy that is. That to me is the perfect Texas holiday feast.